Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Holy cow, let me just start this off by saying we recently got home from Maui and the time change, trying to adjust to that kicked my butt. Going over there, the 5-hour time difference, it wasn't bad to adjust to there. Coming home was a lot worse. Anyway, I won't go into that on this video. I'll talk more into that about, I will talk more about that in Monday's video. Because I've got a few pre-recordings to post by the time you guys see this. Anyway, so we are here for Finish It Friday. And now I want to tell you guys that I posted on my social media and on YouTube that, I had all of the pieces for Tolly done. Pardon me. I could not get myself to get in the mood to put him together. So I waited a couple days, slept for like 16 hours, waited another day, and I was like, all right, I think I'm ready. And I don't know if you guys can tell, but by my eyes, I'm still just like... But I finally got him together. I have him assembled, and he is adorable. So to start it off, if you guys remember, Totally was out of this book. He is... He is on page 112. This is Mr. Totally. So I used all 4-weight yarn and a 4mm hook. Red Heart Super Saver for the majority, and then I love this yarn on 2 parts, and I'll show you. But let me get him camera ready. Make sure his hat's all nice. All right, here is Mr. Tolly. Isn't he adorable? I love him. All right, so let me get the picture. Oh, and here's his little tail feathers. Let me show you the picture again, because I want to talk about something. So if you can see the picture, and then mine, I'm trying to not show the pattern. So he was made using very pale colors. So if you look at his body and his beak and his feet, I thought I prefer to use yarn that I have and not to buy new yarn. So I thought, okay, I don't want to go buy yarn to make him. So what I did was I just came to my my stash, which is a majority of it's Red Heart Super Saver, for things like this. Anyway, so I thought I like the color scheme, like the pastel colors that they used in the book. I don't necessarily want to use that. Number 1 being because I don't have them, and number 2 being I wanted mine to be more of a realistic looking goose, which, I mean, it's a goose wearing pants. How is it? Or pants, a bow tie, and a hat. How is that, how is that natural looking? But the color scheme, I wanted it to be more natural. So I went with Red Heart Super Saver Orange, Red Heart Super Saver White. What is that purple? Is it lavender maybe? I think it might be lavender. I don't know. Bright yellow, and then just gray. And then for his shorts, that is, I love this yarn, Sage and Dusty Pink from Hobby Lobby. And then the little 1 stitches. That's this gray that was in the hat. But yeah, 4-weight yarn, 4mm hook. He is, let's see how tall he is. I'd say he's over 12 inches. I'm just going to measure him standing on my leg. He is roughly, from the top of his head, like I'm not measuring the pom-pom part, from the top of his head, he's about 14 inches, give or take half an inch, just because I'm, giving an estimate. I'm not, exactly measuring him. But what I did was you make his body, and I knew, because he, I'm using that 4-weight yarn and the 4mm hook. I knew that he was going to be a little top heavy, and the neck is long like a goose, like for a natural goose. The neck's longer, and I thought, I am not about to try to make sure this is stuffed properly so the neck doesn't, flop around. So what I did is just took one of my water bottles, like I do with my dolls that have the plastic head. I cut the top off, cut the bottom off, twisted it up, and then ran duct tape around it and shoved it inside the head, stuffed around the water bottle and duct tape, crocheted up, stuffed and crocheted up until the water bottle was completely hidden, and then did the body, and then fully stuffed the body, and, just went from there. Now, of course, with assembling, I did not sew on every part like they wanted. I hot glued. I very carefully hot glued so you can't see anywhere. This and the neckband is actually just, it's crocheted, and then you take the 2 short ends, bring them together, stitch it up, and then you supposed to stitch the bow on. I just hot glued it on, but there you go. And his bill has a little stuffing in it, and I hot glued that on. I did hot glue his hat on because I didn't want it to just, flop off. And I don't remember if the pattern said to, stitch it on or not, but I didn't. And I went up. Okay, so here's something else I did. Let me say this. So a lot of the times when I make amigurumis, I don't put the eyes in when they tell you to, and I don't put the little backs on, because I like mine to look a certain way, and I kind of wasn't into the way they looked. They were little, and they were closer to the side of the bill, and they were down farther, and I'm like, nah, I can do better, in my opinion. So what I did is I put the beak on, and I did everything. I put everything together, made him the way I wanted, and then what I did is I would set him, in front of me, obviously, put the eyes in and say, no, I don't like that size, try different eyes, put them in. Okay, so I don't like where they're at, so move them over a stitch. And then I do that until I get to where I love his eyes. So then what I'll do is because once you put the safety eyes in, the post of the safety eyes in the stitch will leave like a little hole, because, I just twist them in. So then when I get them to where I want them, what I do is I untwist them out, and I take the tip of my glue gun and I put it in the hole and squish a bunch of hot glue in there, take it out and put the eye in, and, twist it down until where it's, flat against the stitches on both of them, and then I'll push them in and hold them like that for a little bit so they're hot glued in. Can a child pick them out? I mean, if he spent hours, or she would, whatever, spent hours, picking and picking and picking, I'm sure you could probably get them out. However, like I said, these are not made for kids. They're from my personal collection, so I'm not too concerned about it. I really don't think I say that, but man, I guess if they tried and tried and tried, they probably could pop the eyes out. I don't know. Anyway, there is Mr. Tully, and I am so ready for a new project. Even if it is an amigurumi, even if it is a doll with a plastic head, even if it is a dress for a doll that I have, or an Afghan, I'm ready for a new project. Okay, Mr. Tully is getting added to the collection, and we're going to draw a new one. A part of me is, I'm going to say it again, I say this almost every video, I am so ready for the Grafgam because I want to learn better how to do it. But having said that, a part of me is just ready for a new project. And hoping that I don't have to go dig through my closet again to find doll heads, because after unpacking, okay, I'm going to go off on a rant for just a second. It has nothing to do with Finish It Friday, so fast forward if you need to. But so we get home from Hawaii, and the house is a disaster because my oldest daughter came home from college and all of her stuff is unpacked in the house. My other daughter, my youngest, which they're 2 months apart, she is finishing high school, so everything from school is at home, unpacked everywhere, which I know doesn't sound like much, but when you clean out your locker, you clean out your gym locker, you clean out your truck, her truck, all that, that's everywhere. She just had prom, so that's all everywhere. Her senior prom, and then everything that we packed and unpacked from Hawaii is everywhere. So it's like my house is a disaster. So if I have to go digging through my closet for a doll head, I'm going to be like, please just come on, give me a break. All right, let's get to it. Enough rambling. Oh, how I missed you. Grab one. And if it's a break, I'm going to put it back because I technically had a break from a week since I skipped. I'm trying to unfold it. I did a really good job at folding these. Dang it! I had to do my math wrong. I messed something up. There is no way there is the exact same number of doll body, the exact same number of doll dresses, and the exact same number of Afghans in that little container because I got another doll body. All right. Crochet doll bodies. I really don't have that many left in there. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 left in there. All right. Hope it's a good one. Something I haven't done yet. Something that, well, I don't know. I say that, but I don't feel that way. Ooh. Ooh. This may be, yeah, okay. I kind of just want to surprise you in the same video. This isn't going to be next video. So I am going to pause my video, go drag this out of my closet, and yeah, and I'm going to show you guys what it is. Like, oh man. Okay, I'll be right back. I'm back. Okay, so let me show you. This is a normal, I refer to them as dumpling doll heads. Some people don't. Some people call them, 1,000 different names, but this is what I call them. This is an average size dumpling doll head. I drew the large dumpling doll head. Here is the large. So she is going to be significantly bigger. Her hands, I was holding her hands in the bottom. Well, I can go ahead and just open it to show you. I cannot tell you where I got this from. I do not remember. Oh, I love the smell of that old plastic. All right, so here's the hands. Here is her head. And I've already got a pattern picked out. So whenever you open these, their hair is always kind of like mashed down. So I always take their head and just kind of shake it. Oh, that hurts my hand trying to hold it. There we go. I will fix her hair. Okay, so let me show you. What is the deal? Let me show you the pattern I picked out for her. About I put her head right there. Little hands. All right. So here is the pattern I picked. This is, oh, pardon me, Goodness Grapes. Look at that. So I learned from experience now to not just pick a pattern and go with it. I do not want to make another doll that has double crochet body, even though I said it wasn't that bad as bad as I was expecting, but I would still prefer not to have double crochets. So I looked over this, and this one has a half double crochet body. With using a G. That's a 6, right? A 6 millimeter. Is that right? I never second guess myself as much as I do as when I'm in front of my camera. I think it's a 6. Yeah. So what I'm going to do, let's see. It's 4-ply acrylic worsted weight yarn. White, lavender, and purple. I'm thinking, because if I use Red Heart Super Saver, an H hook might be sufficient for half double crochets. However, if I use I Love This yarn from Hobby Lobby, an H hook I know will be good, because that yarn is just slightly thicker than Red Heart Super Saver. But I do not have white I Love This yarn. So I don't have to, because I have plenty of purple. So I don't have to, and I meant that as in I have plenty of shades of purple. So that I don't have to go spend money, I'm just going to use what I have, which I think is going to be a mixture of Red Heart Super Saver and I Love This yarn. So the Red Heart Super Saver is going to be white, which is like the main body of... no, it's not. It is not. The main body is purple, so it says purple, white, and lavender. So what I'm thinking is the arms are the purple, white, obviously, and then that little bitty piece right there is the lavender. So I think the majority of her body is made out of purple. And I'm skimming through the pattern real fast. The bottom half of her body is white. Yeah, the bottom half is white. Okay, so I've got this. I'm just going to stick with an H hook. The 5 millimeter, right? Yeah. That'll be perfect. Fingers crossed. So, let me... Okay, good. Because I was wondering if the hole in the head was any different than the hole in the normal size doll. And it's not. It's pretty much the same. So my soda bottle trick should continue to work for her. And, yeah. We should have Goodness Grapes done by next Friday. I'm super excited because I've never worked with these big heads before. I have one that's actually bigger, but it's not a dumpling. Like, it has the colored yarn hair. And I actually think that one's purple too. But its face is different. So I don't refer to it as my favorite doll heads just because its face is different and it doesn't have that adorable little smile. So, all right. I'm so super excited, and I hope you guys are too. So, having said that, I will see you guys in the next one. Hit that thumbs up if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you haven't so you don't miss what's next. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.